Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into something completely unexpected and honestly, highly strategic. xAI's brand new Grok 4.5 model. Now, if you've been following the AI space lately, you know the competition is just absolutely fierce. I mean, every single week there's a new model claiming to completely shatter the boundaries of human reasoning. But today, well, we're looking at a release that's taking a totally different path. It's a path heavily grounded in the actual, everyday realities of business and software development. So it begs the question, right? What if the next massive AI model isn't actually trying to be the smartest bot in the laboratory, but literally the most practical one out there in the real world? Instead of endlessly chasing those flashy academic benchmarks or the latest multimodal hype, xAI is asking what the industry actually needs right now. They're looking straight at the daily bottlenecks companies and developers face, and they're building a tool to solve those exact problems. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, the Grok 4.5 pivot. Second, how it's built for software engineering. Third, designing for AI agents. And finally, speed, efficiency, and pricing. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The Grok 4.5 pivot from chatbot to enterprise platform. It's a totally stark contrast when you look at xAI's trajectory. Think back to the early versions of Grok on X. It was this quirky, consumer-facing conversational AI with a bit of a rebellious streak, right? But Grok 4.5, it's a massive pivot. It's now a heavy-duty enterprise developer tool. xAI has evolved this thing into a direct competitor to industry heavyweights like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. They are squarely targeting professional developers who desperately need serious, reliable integration. The whole game plan here is to capture businesses that want to automate workflows and bake AI right into their real-world development pipelines. Instead of just flooding us with academic evaluations and isolated test scores, xAI is hammering home three things: overall productivity, system responsiveness, and total cost of ownership. And why does that actually matter to us? Well, because a slightly higher score on some standardized AI test doesn't mean a thing if the model is too slow or way too expensive to run at scale. Grok 4.5 is built for organizations that literally just need to get things done. Moving on to Section 2, built for software engineering, the developer's partner. Grok 4.5 isn't just a general assistant. It's optimized specifically to be a productive partner for software engineering. We're talking about writing code, debugging tricky applications, wrapping its digital head around sprawling, massive code bases, and actually supporting AI agents for multi-step tasks. This lines up perfectly with xAI's huge recent investments in developer tooling. They aren't trying to make a jack-of-all-trades that writes OK poetry into OK Python. No, they're handing software engineers a highly specialized powerhouse partner to help them ship real products. Which brings us to Section 3, designing for AI agents beyond simple prompts. To truly grasp where this whole industry is hurtling towards and exactly where Grok 4.5 fits in, we have to talk about agentic workflows. This is basically the single most critical AI trend for 2026. Agentic workflows are AI systems that plan, execute, and complete entire sequences of tasks with minimal human intervention. It's a huge leap. We are transitioning from using AI like a search engine on steroids to actually treating it like a fully capable digital worker. To see how this plays out in the real world, Grok 4.5 is built to autonomously handle these multi-step sequences. It's designed to reason through larger objectives all on its own. It can interact with external tools, write the code, and completely automate those complex, mundane tasks that usually just bog developers down. You're no longer holding the AI's hand through every single line of code, you're delegating to it. It's a total game changer. All right, Section 4, speed, efficiency, and pricing, the pragmatic economics. Now, Elon Musk has called this an Opus class model, which places it right up there in the top tier of frontier AI, kind of nodding to Anthropic's Claude 3 Opus. But honestly, the real narrative xAI is pushing isn't just about raw brain power. It's about what happens when you take that elite, top-tier quality and combine it with hyper-aggressive efficiency. Think about it. For companies running millions of API requests every single day, intelligence is only half the battle. What actually keeps CTOs awake at night? Speed and cost. Grok 4.5 is bringing massive performance gains, faster inference, way more token efficiency, incredibly low latency, and it's far more cost-effective than previous generations. At enterprise scale, that efficiency doesn't just tweak a spreadsheet. It literally slashes your infrastructure costs. And that brings us to the absolute kicker, the aggressive API pricing. We're talking $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens. That drastically undercuts a lot of the current flagship models, which are out there charging double, sometimes even triple that rate. For organizations building AI-powered tools, this pricing turns Grok 4.5 from a, maybe we'll try it, into a massive cost-saving business imperative. This pricing is a weaponized competitive advantage for sure. Even while we wait for the really granular technical docs that usually trickle out after launch day, the battle plan here is crystal clear. xAI is competing on intelligence, speed, efficiency, and affordability to entirely dominate enterprise scaling. They're essentially telling developers, look, we have the brains you need, but more importantly, we won't bankrupt you on server costs when you actually try to scale. So as the rest of the industry obsesses over the distant sci-fi dream of artificial general intelligence, I want to leave you with this one thought. Will practical pricing, blistering speed, and hyper-focused developer tools ultimately win the enterprise AI race? It is a fascinating, incredibly pragmatic pivot from xAI, and it might just reshape how businesses choose their AI partners from here on out. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep a close eye on this one, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.